What if you took Social Security early and invested the proceeds? We're going to use a Social Security calculator from a horse's mouth to get a gauge how that works. I think you'll be pleasantly intrigued by this. So let's dive right into this. Actually, it's pretty interesting. So we're going to hit the reinvest break even right here. Yeah, reinvest break even calculator. Use this calculator if the client will be investing in Social Security benefits. Will be investing in the Social Security benefits. So let's see what we got. All right, so let's take a look at the calculator. There we go. All right, and let's see what we happen. All right. So what we're going to do after use this calculator, evaluate reinvestment of benefits. Now this is just, I don't want to say it's just for single people, but they're not looking at spousal benefits, not looking at survivor benefits. They're not looking at you have a benefit, your wife has a benefit, or vice versa. They're just looking at just one person. So let's take a look. We're going to hit select save client. We're going to look back at Donna Divorcee. And we're going to load her up because again, this only takes one person in consideration. Just if you take your benefits early, what do you expect as a rate of return? What can your benefits look like? All right. So remember, Donna is 61. She's born in December 1957, so she's coming up on her beginning to be able to take Social Security, which will be in 7 months, all right, when she hits 62, if she wants. Again, we're not doing a cost of living adjustment, all right? We're not doing that. We're just doing straight numbers today. Today's dollars versus today's dollars in the future. Inflation is taken out of the scenario. So real investment return rate would be minus inflation, all right? So I want to show you what I'm talking about here. We just want to look at real dollars. I cannot stress how many people get caught up, say, I got $1 million in 50 years. Yeah, but $1 million in 50 years is worth like freaking 5 pennies today. Her FRA is 66 and 6 months. We already talked about her PIA is 1,850. Her life expectancy is 91. The earliest age she can claim is the end of this year, 12/15/2019, and the later would be 2027. So her PIA is 1850. If she collects early, it'd be 1349. If she collects later, it'd be 2368. So let's start with a real investment rate of return. If we have 2.6 cost of living, that's roughly inflation. We'll say 3% just for time being. We'll say 3%, and what we're going to do, and we'll say 3%. Real returns. Again, this is not factoring taxes either. So let's see what we got. And we're going to hit what do I want to do this here? 3. All right, here we go. What happened here? Okay, let's go 4. Let's go 2. Did it change anything? Okay, there we go. I guess it does change. So we got 1, 2. Here we go. Let's do 3% rate of return. Let's see what we got. There we go. Okay, it does change it on 5. Well, that's pretty cool. I didn't realize it did that fast. All right, so what's happening here? At 62, Donna, we're going to say 63. Donna's investing. All right, we'll say 60 and 62. Well, they get 14. Oh, because they don't have the first month. That's right. Okay. So in 62, at her age as of December 31st, so the full year will be when she's 62. In the year 2020, she'll be 62 to start the year. Then she'll be 63 to end, if that makes sense. She's going to get 14,839. Typically, she'll get 16,108. That's going to be her investment return because she's only getting 3% a year of interest. All right, so that's what she's getting because she's putting in $1,349 over the course of that year. She'll only get $153 of investment returns, if that makes sense. If you think about it, if she had $10,000, got 3%. At the beginning of the year, she'd only get $300. All right, so if she had $10,000 at the beginning of the year, she'd get $300 in investment return. Well, here she didn't have $10,000 at the beginning of the year. She has a $1,349, $1,349, $1,349. So you see how that works. All right, so now the following year she has $16,188, again at 3%. So her cumulative investments now are $31,860. She's made about $835 or so total. So she has a little bit more than what she put in by a factor of $835. Not bad, but nothing fancy. All right, so then we keep going down. The following year, she's got $49,242. She's made $1,194 of interest, and you can see how that cumulative, how much she's made that year in her investments, and you can see how this goes. All right, so at the end of the day, the dark black, the bold, is when it'd be more beneficial for her if she's reinvesting to take it earlier. Now, if she lives beyond the age of 84, she would have rather have delayed taking it, because if she lives till she's 83 or 84, she'll have $500,000 in this account. If she where she'd only have $494,000 if she took it later. Does that make sense? Because by the time she's 70, she'll have $144,000 all growing at 3% a year in this account. All right, and if she would have taken it early, and she, of course, she has nothing here because she hasn't started Social Security. So the very next year she'll have 165, she'll have 29,000 over here. The very next year she'll have 186, she'll have 58. So it catches up, but it takes a while. It takes until she's 85 years old for the delaying until she's 70 to catch up with her. So here she has $538,000. And here she has $532,000. So, but I mean, look, it's a pretty significant difference there. $830,000 at 91 versus 743. So we're getting up to the point where it's almost $100,000 difference. And you can see that's the break-even point right there, about 84 and a half, 85 years old. So that's what we're looking at. So let's do a 4%. And I've always thought if you did 4%, this is real return now, real return after inflation. Let's see what we got. And I think real 4%, 87. So if she lives beyond 87, it'll be better if she delayed. But even when she's 91, she has 934 in the account if she delayed, and 879 in the account if she took it early. So see, I've always been a rule of thumb about 4%. If you get 4% real return on your Social Security, if you're going to reinvest Social Security, it's not a bad idea to take it early for sure. And the reason for that is because you're most likely going to have more money when you die than you would if you waited till later. And here's just, again, the fact. She does have more money when she's 91. She has more money when she's 87, 88, 89, 90, 91. But up until that point, she has significantly more if she had taken it early, for sure. And on top of that, even at 91, she only has around $50,000 less. And that's a lot of money, don't get me wrong. But I mean, look at all these dark black years, significantly more probability of her dying with money, more money if she had taken it early at 4%. And so remember, that's only 7.6. So 4%, we're using 2.6 cost of living, i.e. inflation rate. That's only 7.6. So let's just say she had 5% for simplicity. I think it's the whole, I think we go down, So here, if she expects to get 5% and she can reinvest it, she should take it early. There's just no getting around that. By the time she's 70 years old, she'll have $156,000 in her account, where she has nothing if she delayed. By the time she's 80 years old, she'll have $467,000 in her account if you take it early, and $368,000 if she delays. So a $100,000 difference by the time she's 80. By the time she's 90, she has $979 in her account if she took it early, and $975 if she delayed. And finally, when she kicks the bucket, she'll have $8,000 more in the delayed account. So that's kind of what you're looking at here. If you're going to reinvest it and you think you can get more than 5%, I'd say basically 4%, you probably ought to take it early without question. Now, this has nothing to do with taxes, my friends. We haven't talked about taxes at all. And you really need to do the tax scenario for sure. If you don't do the tax scenario, I think you make a mistake, because this just says this just says gross returns. We haven't factored any taxes for IRA taxes or required distribution tax. We haven't factored at all. I'll do another video tomorrow on the same scenario with Donna, divorcee. We'll probably say she has $350,000 in an IRA. So if she delays taking Social Security until she's 70, she has to get the money coming from someplace. It'll come from her IRA. What would it look like at that point? In the same scenario, we'll compare the two. It'll be interesting to see, actually. So let's create report here. I think I gotta let me click on. There we go. All right, see what we got. We got you must save this. Okay, save 3%. Oops, 3%. Doesn't matter. All right, so let's create this report and see what we look like. Again, this is for a single person. It doesn't take into fact spousal benefits. It just doesn't take any of that. I'm just curious to see what this report looks like. I haven't looked at it for a little bit. So let's see what we got. You see my little logo, pretty cool there. We're just gonna make that bigger. Anyway, so let's keep going down. We got all the preliminary stuff there. Just same thing we just looked at. That's pretty cool. And then the cumulative returns, the break even is basically 91. Yeah, so nothing fancy there, but it's good stuff, man. I hope you, again, if you're going to take it early, if you're getting more than 4%, it might be beneficial to. If you're going to take it, if you think you'll get less than 4%, again, that's real. So 4% plus, we'll just say 3, That 7% nominal return, or 4% real. If you think you're going to get less than 7, it's probably beneficial to take it later. If you think you can get more than 7% or more, it's probably, I'd even say, yes, I'd say 7%. If you think you can get 7% or more, it's probably worth it to take it early. But this isn't all inclusive. We haven't looked at anything else. So stay with me tomorrow. I'll show you a different one on the right capital software. All right, thanks, guys.